shut up. They don't have the right opinion. And we see it happening once again with Wakanda Forever. YouTuber and TikToker Courtney Michelle reports that TikTok censored her video that criticized Black Panther Wakanda Forever as feminist propaganda. She shared her thoughts to TikTok and YouTube back on November 11th. And I want to let you hear this. I did see this going around out there. I saw people clipping this out, sharing it everywhere. It was going pretty viral on TikTok. And let's see why.
So I just left seeing Wakanda Forever, and I'm pissed. I am pissed because if pushing an agenda was a movie, this would be in the forefront of that. This was Woman King on steroids. If you think that I'm going to believe a 100-pound black woman soaking wet is just an almighty warrior and can just body dudes like it's no tomorrow, come on. Like, instead of Wakanda, it should have been called Where Are the Men? Because they was not there, they were not present, and the ones that was there was weak.
Now, you can see why this would irritate some people. You can see why people would want this silence, because it's one thing when I sit here and make these criticisms, people are going to brush it off, all that stuff. But when you have a black woman out here saying, hey, listen, this movie was far too much feminist propaganda in this piece of shit. That actually is very, very meaningful.
But all the women that was in the movie was just brolic, built, strong Hercules. What is this saying to us? Perpetuating the idea of the strong black woman and a subservient black effeminate man. I just think it's disgusting. I'm completely upset by the movie. And, man, if this Kyrie Irving didn't teach me anything, it's when you put your life, career in the hands of other people that don't look like you, then they can make you do whatever they want you to do. And this movie does not represent what African culture is. It doesn't represent what our culture needs to be. So, I'm good on Wakanda.
Like,
all right, I want to start off by giving our praises to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem, Rakakadash, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that taught me his truth. All right, I was going to do a quick movie review, mainly on Joshua the Black Rider, but before I get into that one, I was going to talk a little bit about Wakanda Forever because just not on the hype like everyone else is behind the movie. All right. Went ahead and decided to check it out because everybody was talking about it. Seen it bootleg, refused to spend money on it. And yeah, I know it got shown in the Northern and Southern Kingdom in a way, joining together, but out and out, the movie was still mostly bull. All right. It just ain't no getting around it. All right. This is she get Isaiah 3rd chapter, and this is the 12th verse. All right. As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err and destroy the way of thy paths. All right. Now, what this movie was them raising the male and saying that, the women can do it without the men. All right. That kind of goes back to Genesis and I think I want Genesis the 3rd chapter, my bad. The 3rd chapter in the garden, what the serpent said unto Eve. All right. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field, which the Lord Yahweh had made, and he said unto the woman, Ye have God said ye should not eat of every tree of the garden? And the woman said unto the serpent, We might eat of the fruit of the tree of the gardens. We might eat of the fruit of the tree of the gardens, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, Yahweh said, Ye should not eat eat of it, neither should ye touch it, lest ye die. All right, so it was talking about, we know this tree is going into different philosophies and different things on the world. And it told Eve, don't eat of certain philosophies and certain ways of thinking, or else you would die. And that is what this movie is pushing, that you don't need the male in order to accomplish your goals. All right. Fourth verse. And the serpent said unto the woman, ye should not surely die. For Yahweh does know that in the day that therefore, then your eyes should be open, and ye should be as gods, knowing good and evil. And we know this is how the serpent Esau comes at us today. It gives truth with a lie. When the serpent said told the woman you would not die, that part was a lie. But when she told the woman you would be like gods, knowing both good and evil, that part was true. All right. All right. In the sixth verse, and the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, in a tree to be desired to make one wise. She took of the fruit thereof and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat. And the eyes of them both were open, and they knew that they were naked, and they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons. So pretty much they knew that they was doing wrong, that they was doing evil. All right. So, they went to the tree and they ate. All right. And we know as it goes down, the judgment that the Lord had to pour out of them for going against their ways. All right. It came true that they should surely die. All right. Because we know that says in Sirach, through the woman and came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. All right. Now, that was the main point why I thought this movie, even with what they were showing. And if you know anything about the comic books, eventually the Black Panther kills Namor anyway. So you ain't gonna get too much unity out of one of these movies anyway. Even though I know that's what brothers were taking away from it. But the main thing I took away from it is what's them trying to show that they can do what the Most High God can do without Him. All right. This is Isaiah 14 and 13. For thou hast said in thy heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my thrones above the stars of Yahweh. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation and in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heavens of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of a pit. So the Lord say, they are saying that they are going to do it all. All right, because what this movie was showing, that the heart-shaped herb was destroyed. And like somebody was pointed out that heart-shaped herb was made it pretty much seem like Killmonger killed the Black Panther because he was the one that destroyed the heart-shaped herbs. But they were saying, even though, the God or whatever, the heart-shaped herb was created, pretty much through a miracle, through the works of the Lord, that they can create the same thing through their own science. And that's what this movie was trying to show. That, they don't need the Lord. They can do their own thing. So I wasn't on the board with this movie for what it was pushing. Men are not needed. Women are more powerful than men. And that they can be God, that they can create their own synthetic herb, right? That they don't need the Lord, which is just all backwards. Now, I get the other spiritual aspects of it, and it was, if you know anything about the comic books, a great setup for the next movie, the Doom Wars, which is when, the Edomites, through Dr. Doom or whatever, come in and try to take all the Vibranium from Wakanda and whatever that place was that Nemo was from. Alright, so they set that up. So they're pretty sure that's what the next one gonna be about, and we'll see which way it go. Whether they keep them working together as a team, and will they be able to overcome the colonizers? Alright, now I want to get into the movie that I really enjoyed was Joshua the Black Rider, which is like a, can't remember whether it was 1974 or 1976. So it was an old movie. It was an oldie, but a good one. And the star was named Joshua. And we all know that if Yahushua, who the word ignorantly called Jesus, name was translated correctly into English, it would translate into Joshua. All right, so this movie was Joshua the Black Rider, and it was about Joshua hunting down the people, who killed his mom, and it just put all kind of scriptures in my head. All right, let's start with Isaiah 63. All right, 1. Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Barca? This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. So this is the Lord say he coming straight for Edom when he come. All right, when them chariots enter the atmosphere. Where art thou red in thy apparel, and thy garments like him that treaded in the wine fat? I had treaded the wine press alone, and of my people there was none with me. For I would tread them in my anger, and trample them in my fury, and their blood should be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. So this is the Lord, Yahushua, who the word ignorant called Jesus, saying that when he come back, he's going to do a lot of killing. All right, he's planning. You go know because all this is figuratively speaking. This is just a metaphor for all the destruction and death that's going to be when he shows up for all the people who violating his laws and refuse to return to him. Chapter 4. For the day of vengeance is in my heart, and the year of my redeem is come. All right, so the Lord is coming for vengeance. All right, and then we'll go over to Revelations chapter 12, and I think I want to start like verse 12. All right, therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil has come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knows that he has but a short time. And if you see the beginning of this movie, the way the devil just came in, and pretty much these people went to feed him. All right, it was I think it was Edomite man, and he had a Moabite wife, I believe, and he had Joshua's mother was working for him. And these other 5 Edomites came in and just completely wrecked their world. All right, that was that devil coming in with great wrath. And the dragon saw that he was cast into the earth, and he persecuted the woman which brought forth the man child. So this is the dragon, Esau Edom, persecuting Israel, the woman that brought forth the man child, the nation of Israel. And the woman was given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness and into her place where she is nourished for a time and times and a half a time in the face of the serpent. And the serpent cast out of his mouth water as a flood after the woman, that he might cause her to be carried away of the flood. So this is going into them going in search for the nation of Israel after they ran them out of their homeland. They went and got them and brought them over here for slavery. And the earth helped the woman, and the earth opened her mouth and swallowed up the flood which the dragon caused out of his mouth. All right. And the dragon was wroth with the woman, and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of Yahweh and have the testimony of Yahweh Shah Mashiach. So it's letting you know that in these last days that Edomites are going to attempt to make war with the people of the Lord, and we know they're going to do this through this MOTB. That no one that's of the Lord is going to take. All right, and they're going to persecute our people for not taking it. Right? And to me, this movie, Joshua the Black Rider, it puts you in the right spirit for the times we're about to enter into. I believe every brother should watch it. All right, because this movie was pretty much like Django before there was a Django. All right, it was, to me, it was better than Django. All right, now this is Psalm 137, and I'm gonna start at verse 4. How should we sing the Lord's song in a strange land? All right. So how are we supposed to be happy here with all this wickedness and wrong they got going over here? I mean, you can't enjoy nothing no more. All right. I was I ain't watched sports in a long time, but I tried to watch a basketball game, and now all they got is homosexual commercials running during the basketball game. Men kissing each other in the mouth during the basketball game. I mean, there is nothing manly left here. There's nothing left to enjoy. I mean, yeah, they taking away sports. That was the last thing left. They been took away any kind of action or superhero movies without it. They what they call it woke. We just call it, you know, what's the words? Try not to get the video taken down. I just say mo stuff. All right, nobody wants to watch that. All right, no matter how they try to force it on people, no one wants to see this shit. If I forget thee, O Jerusalem, let my right hand forget her cunning. So this is King David say, if he forget his homeland, he forget Jerusalem, he want his right hand to forget how to swing that sword. All right. If I do not remember thee, let my tongue cleave to the roof of my mouth. If by first Jerusalem above my chief jaw. All right. Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. O daughter of Babylon, who ought to be destroyed. And this is how we know this one talking about ancient Babylon. It's talking about O daughter of Babylon. And remember in that 7th verse, O children of Edom. So this is letting you know that the Edomites were going to be in control of the final Babylon. O daughter of Babylon, who ought to be destroyed. Happy should he be that rewarded thee as thou hast served us. Happy should he be that taketh and dashes thy little ones against the stones. And you know, that's going into this nuclear war that's headed this way. All right, dashing the little ones against the stones. And then we go to Psalms chapter 2, and I'm going to start at verse 7. I will declare the decree the Lord has said unto me, thou art my son, this day have I begotten thee. And this is a son of King David prophesizing from the standpoint of Yahweh. This is what Yahweh said to his son Yahweh. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thy inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. Thou shalt break them with a rod of iron, thou shalt dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel. All right, so this right here pretty much lets you know that there is no way that the kingdom of heaven can be for everyone. All right, because who's going to get broken with a rod of iron and dashes in pieces like a potter's vessel? All right, so that right there. And I always like to go straight into Revelations after that one, and, and get it in the New Testament. The same thing being repeated. So people try to say that that was already done. No, we have not been done. This is the end time prophecy. Psalm chapter 2 was the end time prophecy, and Revelation chapter 2. And I'm going to start at verse 25. But that which ye have already hold fast till I come. And he that overcome and keep my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations. So his servants that continue to serve the Lord and do what's right unto the end, he's going to give them power over the nations. And he should rule them with a rod of iron, as the vessels of a potter should they be broken to shivers, even as I receive of my Father. So again, ruling with a rod of iron, even as I receive of my Father. All right, and if we go over to Revelations chapter 13 and verse 9, if any man have an ear, let him hear. If any man got the spirit to receive this word and to understand this word, let him hear it. He that leadeth into captivity should go into captivity. So if you put someone in slavery, you're going into slavery. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. So if you kill with the sword, you got to be killed with the sword. And we know that was the blessing of the Edomites, the sword. Here is the patience and faith of the saints. All right, it's the patience and faith of the saints. And just to reiterate that this is going to be done with the chariots. Let's go back to Isaiah one more time for this one, 66. So anybody who tells you there are no chariots in the Bible, that's just the same as saying there ain't no miracles in the Bible. To be honest, there ain't even no reason for them to be in the truth. If they don't believe in the chariots, there's no point of them being in the truth. I mean, the chariots are the salvation. All right. That is how he is going to save his elect on this side. So if you don't believe in it, there's no point of you being here. If you don't believe Yahweh Shai ain't did any miracles, there's no point of you being here. I mean, why even pick up this book? It makes no sense. This is Isaiah 66, verse 15. For behold, the Lord will come with fire and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with our flesh, and the slaying of the Lord should be many. All right, so this is the Lord telling us he's coming back to do his destroying with his chariots. All right, and just to get that in the New Testament, this is Jude, and you know it ain't but one chapter in Jude, and verses 14 and 15. And Enoch also, the seventh from Adam, prophesies of this. So Eli was prophesying of this back in the ancient world, the seventh from Adam, right, back before the first flood, prophesies of this, saying, behold, the Lord cometh with 10,000s of his saints to execute judgment upon all, and to convince all that are ungodly among them of their ungodly deeds which they have ungodly committed, and of all their hard speech which ungodly sinners have spoken against him. So it's pretty much saying the Lord is coming to punish everyone who won't get down and do the rights of his laws. And that's what this movie, Joshua the Black Rider, put me in. I seen sometimes it was just titled Joshua, and sometimes it was titled Joshua the Black Rider. All right, so it puts you in that spirit of Yahweh Shah coming back to destroy the world. All right, and with that, I'm gonna say Shalom.